Hi, friends. Today's book is Dear Mr. Blueberry, and it's by Simon James. Only one name, so that must mean that he drew the pictures and he also wrote the words. Dear Mr. Blueberry, I love whales very much, and I think I saw one in my pond today. Please send me some information on whales, as I think he might be hurt. Love, Emily. So she's writing a letter to her teacher. See, look at how the book looks like an envelope. Dear Emily, here are some details about whales. I don't think you'll find it was a whale you saw because whales don't live in ponds, but in salt water. Yours sincerely, your teacher, Mr. Blueberry. She's reading his letter. Dear Mr. Blueberry, I'm now putting salt into the pond every day before breakfast, and last night I saw my whale smile. I think he's feeling better. Do you think he might be lost? Love, Emily. Look at that. Do you think that's going to work, friends? Do you think putting salt in the water is going to turn it into being like the ocean? Dear Emily, please don't put any more salt in the pond. I'm sure your parents won't be pleased. I'm afraid there can't be a whale in your pond because whales don't get lost. They always know where they are in the oceans. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. You think she really has a whale in her pond in her backyard? I sure would be cool. Dear Mr. Blueberry, tonight I'm very happy because I saw my whale jump up and spurt lots of water. He looked blue. Does this mean he might be a blue whale? Love, Emily. P.S. What can I feed him with? Wow, look at that. Dear Emily, blue whales are blue and they eat tiny shrimp like creatures that live in the sea. However, I must tell you that a blue whale is much too big to live in your pond. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. P.S. Perhaps it's a blue goldfish? Look at, she's looking at a book about goldfish to see if maybe her teacher's right. Dear Mr. Blueberry, last night I read your letter to my whale. Afterward, he let me stroke his head. It was very exciting. I secretly took him some crunched up cornflakes and breadcrumbs. This morning I looked in the pond and they were all gone. I think I shall call him Arthur. What do you think? Love, Emily. You think that's a good name for a whale? Dear Emily, I must point out to you quite forcibly now that in no way could a whale live in your pond. You may not know that whales are migratory, which means they travel great distances each day. I am sorry to disappoint you. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. He's reading his letter. What do you think she's feeling? Dear Mr. Blueberry, tonight I'm a little sad. Arthur has gone. I think your letter made sense to him, and he has decided to be migratory again. Love, Emily. Nobody's there anymore. Dear Emily, please don't be too sad. It really wasn't possible for a whale to live in your pond. Perhaps when you're older, you would like to sail the ocean, studying and protecting whales. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. Look at, she has a whale tail picture on the wall. She does look sad. Dear Mr. Blueberry, it's been the happiest day. I went to the beach, and you'll never guess, but I saw Arthur. I called to him, and he smiled. I knew it was Arthur because he let me stroke his head. I gave him some of my sandwich. So she went to the beach, and she thinks she saw him at the beach. Now look how big he is next to her. You think that's Arthur? So it said, I gave him some of my sandwich. Then we said goodbye. I shouted that I loved him very much, and I hope you don't mind. I said you loved him too. Love, Emily and Arthur. The end. Hope you enjoyed the story, friends. It's one of my favorites.